Hi, this is Sandra Enriquez from Sutton Center Realty. It's that time again to update you on the market statistics for this past February 2013. I'm sure most of you are aware, if you're following the market, that things are still sitting around for a while. In fact, while the active new listings for February were a decrease from January 2013, overall, January actually was a 4% higher than our 10-year average for new listings. And right now we have almost 15,000 listings still on the market. So we're still finding that there's still a lot of active listings sitting around on the market. However, the sales to active ratio actually jumped up to 12.2% this past month. So at least that's improving a bit. So we did see some more sales, but just not enough to really absorb what's sitting out there in the inventory. So for overall, we saw a 29.4% decrease in the number of sales compared to the previous year, and 33% increase compared to January 2012. So at least we're doing better than we were in January of 2012. This past month was the second lowest February total sales since 2001. So it was almost 31% below the 10-year average for the month. So with that, we have some indications that there's a changing sentiment in the marketplace, but I'm finding still buyers are still being somewhat cautious. Even with the first-time home buyer tax credit that's expiring at the end of March, I mean, that's $10,000, and buyers are still not taking advantage of it. So I think there's still the sentiment out there that prices are going to keep coming down, we're going to wait. And they're willing to pass up, if they're a first-time home buyer, they're willing to pass up a tax credit even to wait. So one of the things is what we're seeing, May 2012 was the peak of the market, and so since then, for detached homes, the benchmark price has dropped 6.8%. The benchmark price for condos has dropped 5.1%, and the benchmark price for attached properties like townhomes and half duplexes dropped 6.5% since May of 2012. So we are still seeing that prices are, below what they were at the peak of the market in May 2012. It will probably be a few more months before we start to see any real change in those numbers, I would think. Some of the bright spots are the Chinese government did make second mortgages even harder to obtain this week, as well as they increased their capital gains tax. So that may bring some more investors over here to the lower mainland once again. I think we'll have to just wait and see what happens over the next few months. I mean, there are some other areas that people are investing in. For example, Dubai is an extremely hot market right now for downtown condos. They actually had to recently stop registration for a new project there in Dubai because they just had too many people registering, and that represented 75 different countries were registering. So a lot of them actually India, for example. So those are some surprises. So we'll see what happens if the Chinese government's changes have going to make any impact in our market and bringing those investors back. Now, whether or not they're going to be coming back to buy million-dollar properties or investment condos still remains to be seen. So anyway, if you do have any questions about the market at any point in time, would like a current value of your home, please feel free to contact me either via email at senriquez@sutton.com or give me a call at 604-329-0961. Thank you.